That's what I would suggest. That list will help to a great extent. Recently, I have come across a father who was a only son, and that son is telling, "You have not given me my childhood. You have not given me love and affection." He is an engineering student. Okay. So the father is worried. He feels guilty because the wife is working in some place, he is working in some other place, and he could not visit during the early childhood of the son. The son was with the mother. Okay. And now he has to say, "What do you want right now?" Okay. When you say, "Right now, what do you want?" And he will say one thing, which is almost impossible to achieve. "I want you to get transfer and go and work with my mother," because it is not within his control, because it's a job. Okay. Then what else? Item one, then two, then three, then five, then 10, then 11. He will come to something which is practical and immediately possible for the father to do. And when he fills in few things, he will forget the top thing, like a car or a transfer and things like that. He would say, "Okay," because the son takes control of the father's behavior. But if he goes on talking about the past, nothing can be done about the past. So bring the attention to present, and everything is possible. And he is not going to make unreasonable demands. Out of 20 items, 4 or 5 of them will be unreasonable, even now. But other few things will be easily possible. I want to travel with daddy to some place. Okay. I want to see a movie with dad. Okay. I want daddy to spend 10 minutes with me and not use the cell phone. Okay. Go on ticking. Okay. See, sometimes the Rakshasas ask for a boon to Brahma or Shiva, which is impractical. They say, "I want to live forever without death." So the God says, "You ask something else." Then he asks something. Again he says, "Revise." Then when he goes on revising, it gets diluted. The demand gets diluted, and that is given as a boon by the God. Okay. So what is required is the demand should be diluted. That is why 20 items. They will stick on to one item only or 2 items. They will not agree. But then you can spend some more time and ask, what is the 5th item, the 6th and 7th? When they go up to 10, go up to 20. Then many things are possible. And when you do things as they require, they will forget the foolish, impractical demands. That's it. It can happen between husband and wife also. Children and parents also.
Yes, sir. So I made them to say the good points of them.
Okay.
They both said around 15 points about each other.
Very good.
But later, when I asked when they came for the next session, she said, "You just asked, I just told." She's not having that feel, and she said it because I asked. She said, "That's it," without any deeper in the mind. But what all she said is all the good points about him.
Okay. Okay, good. No, that is also one way to ask about good things in the husband or wife.
Yes, sir.
But then they want something which has not been done in the past.
Yes,
So
sir.
from the past, pull them down to the present. Right now, what do you want?
Okay.
Okay, I want to have the second ice cream. All silly things will come. When I take one ice cream, he says it is enough. I want to have 2 or 3 ice creams at the same time. Okay, go and take it. Then she understands. My husband says okay, and he spends, and he loves me. Otherwise, they go on going into the back. They are digging the grave. From there, here, bring them to here and now. Okay, they will do it. And I say, imagine that Shiva is standing before you. I tell this to the wife. Your husband is Shiva. You ask whatever boon you want. And I tell the husband, Mahadevi is standing. Whatever you want, you ask. They will write 10 things. The lady will write 10 things. Now, I ask the wife, grant the boon. Out of 10, how many you will tick immediately? At least 3 she will give. And similarly, husband will give 3 or 4. So there the union has started already. Okay. And the husband and wife learn to drop certain unreasonable demands, costly demands.
Costly. Unfulfilled.
Yes, unfulfilled things.
Fulfilled.
The husband will say she should not visit her parents, and the wife will say she should not visit his parents. So, but once they start giving halwa and flour and taking them to film or not using the cell and all that, then they say, okay, anything is okay. So it is a mediation effect. But the methodology is like this. It is as simple as that. Asking them to imagine that it is Mahadev and Mahadevi, and you can ask boon. Okay, several boons, not one or two, several boons. The more the list is, the longer the list, they have already solved the problem. That is it. It's not difficult as you see. Okay, so you should start applying it.
Because some couple, either the husband or wife, either of them will be more stubborn, sir. They don't easily try to solve their ego. That is the issue.
Now, what has happened in their life?
She was okay all the time, but when she got surgery for both the knees with a short period of time interval,
That has happened in the past.
yes, sir. From then she
What
started feeling that my husband is not taking care.
forget it. What does she want now?
Yes,
Ask
sir.
her. See, if she goes on to the back, it's a blame game. How to stop the blame game, or anybody for that matter? What do you want right now?
Right now, yes, sir.
Okay,
She wants to work.
practical. Okay, she can say, I want a new car. Okay, then she gets diluted. Okay. You see, even Rakshasas get diluted. They say, I should not be killed within the home or outside the home, not in the day or the
Yeah,
night,
sunset. Yeah.
not with humans or animals. Okay, not with
Prahalada story.
like that. This fellow goes on cornering. Finally, things become all right. Okay, they are ready for a compromise. So you have to push them into the compromising state.
Okay.
Okay, but don't do any Narasimha Avadaram. Okay.
Sir, here
Thank you, sir.
I would like to add something.
Yes, please, Professor Reddy.
In couple counseling,
Yeah.
a peculiar situation, what I observed,
Yes.
I just, for the past 15 years, I have counseled more than 2,000 cases. Among them,
Very good.
1,500 are couple counseling only.
Very good. Very good.
The problem lies with neither the husband nor with the wife. Immediately they go back to the day they got loved each other and they got married.
Okay.
Then such people, it is not at all going to be, problem is not going to be solved. As you said, just you have pointed out, stick on to the present. Stick on to the present means then there is a possibility of solving it.
Yes.
Many of the couples, particularly the fellow, neither the husband nor the wife is so rigid. They will just go back to the earlier situation where they got hurt. That go on repeating, neither the husband nor wife. And such is the case, no solution at all. No, however, whatever might be the sessions, even in the police station, they will be having their own pressures from politicians or from the father-in-law or from the mother-in-law or from the father or the mother. And they used to influence us. Sir, just you go, please, continue the couple counseling 3 or 4 sessions like that. I said, no. Do you mean to say I am the counselor, I am the boss here, not you?
Yeah, that's right.
I am the boss here. Who are you to say just, do you mean to say I am a servant of you? No. Just no, the first day itself we can know, we can solve the problem or not. Having known the psychology of people, neither the husband nor the wife.
Yes.
We can know. For that, next session is not required.
Yeah.
Simply, already many of the couple, they come with a predetermined mind. particularly
Yes.
the present day software people.
Yeah.
While they were
Exactly, sir.
yes, they were in student days, they will be having with so a lot of friends. And you know, recently in our native place, yesterday I received, I met one of our relatives at Chittor. I had been to Chittor. They said, and one of our, just from our village, one girl, she is only 10th. She just loved 3 people, she said in the police station. She loved 3 people. Among the
Okay.
3 people, she selected one boy.
Okay.
I'm not able to understand. See the analysis. She loved 3 people and analyzed. And among the 3, and this fellow is a good fellow, I selected.
Okay.
So this is the situation in
Okay.
rural areas.
Yeah.
From school day onwards, they are just maintaining relationships. And
Okay.
you know, in the 6 months time, 5 of the relatives people, children, particularly girls, they loved each other, they eloped, they got married.
Okay.
And where it is going to end, we do not know. This is the situation going on in the rural areas too.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
So
They-
not only in rural areas, sir. There is a couple. They're married for 1 year, and consanguineous marriage. And the girl says, she's working in a government sector. So she lives in a remote place. So she asked her husband to come and stay with her. So the husband was okay. But later on, when she said, "If I wait, I don't want to have children. You don't want. You don't want. You should not touch me. Or if I have a children, all the expenses is yours, and your mother and your father has to take care. I won't do anything and such things. If you don't allow me to go to my parents' house, or if you don't allow me to speak to them, I don't want my husband." Simply she's saying, I will come out of the relation if the husband doesn't allow to speak to my parents, or if doesn't allow to visit my parents. She's ready to leave it, and no question of compromise in that. And that poor fellow, he was ready to accept everything, but it was getting burden for him to. That relation is becoming burden for him. And they have, but he's when they're moving away, he was not able to forget that girl, because he wanted that girl in his life, but that girl is not at all ready for that. So the how it's going to turn, I mean, I've been seeing the couples only between the 25 or this generation, 25 to 30 years of people, couples who come at married at early age, I mean at this age group, they are having such attitudes, sir. They're not ready to compromise, or they're not ready to adjust in their relationships, so that they have
who is not ready to
committed
compromise?
relationship.
Who is not ready to compromise?
Wife, sir.
Okay, that's good. But the husband should know how to handle her. Okay, or sometimes I will tell how the wife should adapt or handle the husband. So you tell the husband to go and be with the wife for 3 days and walk out for 3 days. Again, re-enter for 3 days. Again, quit for 3 days. Let him keep repeating 10 times. Then both of them will realize the necessity of each other. But if they are quarreling all the time, then they should have a holiday. 3 days only, quarreling or whatever, or loving. After 3 days, they should disappear. Then they see the absence of the partner. Both will understand. Okay, it is just like that. Come, stay, quit, again re-enter, quit, re-enter. This can be done by a girl also, instead of going for a divorce or hatred. And once the person moves away, then the person will become wiser. Both the people become wise. They understand the absence of the partner.
Sir, not sure whether I can ask this question or not, but in this context, if the wife or husband, if they are moving 3 days out and 3 days in, and they're not interacting, is there a chance that they would go for another person? It might be wife or husband.
No, that if the girl or boy goes away for several months only, they will go out. Because they will understand that I have to find another person. But this fellow re-enters after 3 days, or that lady re-enters. That is why it is a limited period separation. Some girls go out and stay for months together, years together. Naturally, it makes the other party to look for an alternative.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So don't allow for such long separations. Re-enter again, exit, re-enter, exit. Then the person will say it is better to get along. Okay.
Okay.
Nothing will happen. The person will not go for another person because a known devil is better than an unknown angel. They know that.
But what if any of the couple?
When they are playing a game, the therapist also plays another game, which is for their own good. Okay.
So, but when I said this to the wife, she said that it becomes a habit for the husband that I will come back after 3 days. Then what happens?
Yes, because the marriage.
I mean, the husband will get accustomed with that habit that I will come back. Anyway, she will come back.
No, it's nothing doing. You repeat it 10 times.
Okay.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then both of them will settle down and say, known devil is better than unknown angel. You see, if you give 3 doses, it is not enough. I said 10 doses.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Together and to be separated. So the doctor also gives for 5 days. It's a dosage, or for 2 weeks. So you must have a dose within which they feel the whole thing becomes a torture. Being together is safer and happier than to send the fellow out or send the lady out. Otherwise, they will feel comfortable and start developing a new relationship. The re-entry is more important. Many people quit forever. Don't quit
Yes, sir.
forever. It's a 3 days. Otherwise, I would also give a kind of different thing. Okay, irregular visiting. Go out and come back the next day. Okay, go out, come for the 3rd day. Again, go and come back on the 2nd day, the 4th day, the 3rd day, or 2nd day. It should be randomized. Okay, when it is randomized, the person starts expecting the person to re-enter. It is a systematic separation versus unsystematic separation. Okay, the longing becomes more when it is unsystematic. Okay, unrandomized.
We had a very interesting discussion.
Yes.
Yeah. Shall we wind it up, sir?
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Yes, Ramadevi.
Yes, sir.
Sir, excuse me, a small question, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
President has to okay.
Okay,
Sir.
please.
Hello.
Madam, okay, you can ask her.
Thank you, sir. Sir, actually, you were saying about couple who come for counseling. They start thinking about past and all. Is there any technique that we can make them stop thinking about the past and that they come to present and think of a good thing like?
Yeah,
There is
that's
no
a good,
technique.
That is
that's a
what.
good technique, Dr. Sudharani. One
Sir.
technique, you
Yes,
have
sir.
to do it in your presence, in your center.
Sir, I'm
Ask,
unable to hear, sir. Please.
yeah, ask the person who has got difficulty getting along. Ask
Okay.
the person to select 3 important past situations.
Okay.
Okay, and grade them, the top to bottom. First is top, middle one, and the 3rd one is relatively light. Ask the person to imagine the situation with the sound and vision, etc., exactly as if it is happening now. They will get irritated, they will get angry, they will feel like crying, but instead ask them to laugh.
Okay.
Bring the situation, visualize, it is known as imagery. Okay, start laughing 3 times for the 3rd thing, then 2nd thing, and the 1st thing. So this is like admitting and treating. If you give this, they won't do it. It should be supervised. Okay. Then once they start laughing, they understand the foolishness of the client. You always go back in past and try to find fault with the other party. It may be man or woman. And they know it is nonsense, but still they can't leave it. Their ego is playing a game. So to diffuse it, you ask them to visualize the situation and start laughing.
Okay.
Because laughing is like throwing water on fire. And it is a biochemical technique also.
Okay, sir.
That will really help. Try that.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I think, shall we conclude?
Yeah, please do. Please do, Professor Reddy.
Okay, sir. So today's topic is peptic ulcer. Started with peptic ulcer and ended with the husband and wife cases. Okay. So the mind is always the culprit, we can say, or the tricky part which controls the whole body. So whatever may be the size of the body, the little brain affects the whole thing. So the problem starts in the mind, which is affecting the body. So when the people bottle up their emotions, especially anger and aggression, then the acidity forms. So it is always good to have a good diet, taking food at appropriate times. Certain relationships we can't express our emotions, so we have to express those emotions uh, either either by uh, hitting the pillow or anything, or imagining the face of the husband or the whoever may be the toxic person you feel, other the face of the any animal which they like, either be rat, parrot, or buffalo, dog, or anything. It can be advised to the students also to imagine, and whatever they talk, so imagine that the animal is speaking, the sounds of the animal, and whatever the animal they have imagined, that part of the person is speaking. So they start laughing, or they don't react or respond to their words, and they become immune to that person. So it is always advisable to not to bottle up anger, especially anger, because that causes the reason for the peptic ulcer, because the people skip the food and skip the food, and they don't have the food on the time, and that is the reason for that. So we have to escape the psychological, we should have the psychological escape, because they are the stomach reactors. So in the Vedic literature, from the Vedas also, it is said that when the person is pounding on us, we have to bless them. Let the person be prosperous, or let the world be prosperous. By chanting or by blessing the person, we ourselves become calm and relaxed, and the other person also become positive to us and expressing and being friendly with us. So whoever the pinpricks, bless them in the mind that they should be prosperous. So if the husband is very toxic or abusing, or in-laws are abusing, we can imagine a pillow and hitting it, or we can imagine a kickback, have a kickback, boxing bag, and fill it with sawdust, and hit it hard, shouting or yelling, whatever the emotions, whatever the anger you have expressed it. So it is like a catharsis to remove our anger and aggression. So that means we are acting upon, so that the person can become immune to that person. And this secret should be kept confidential. So unless and until the person is very much disturbed. So stress is also one of the reasons, because even in the stress we bottle up the emotions and we can't express it. So whenever we have that emotions, especially anger and aggression, so the acidity will be more. So when only one person comes for counseling, we can apply any of the technique, because that person who is very much disturbed will need the relaxing, so that they can have a good relation with them. So the husband scolding wife, and when the husband is cooperative for the treatment, so we can make them put their hands, like the husband hand and the wife hand. We can make them touch each other and move anyway, whatever the way, like it, move forward or backward, anything. So the husband will do for 5 to 10 minutes, and the same will be repeated by his wife for 5 to 10 minutes. And this should be done for alternatively, like 10 minutes of husband and 10 minutes wife. So this should be done for 30 minutes. So that means they will understand the situations where one has to lead and where one has to follow. So mind is always reluctant to follow. So by doing this exercise, it is like managerial technique. So the brain will learn to follow and lead as well. So in case of if we are anger and we are not having control on ourselves and everything, so we can look at the picture and start laughing. And so that means we are developing a different response to that stimulus. So when we start laughing, it should be done around 10 times. So seriousness become fun and easy to follow than lead. So whenever we get anger on someone, so it is always good to bless them or imagine the person or look at the picture of the person and start laughing. So one, the happy brain technique which Shanti ma'am has shared with us, it is a 3-minute technique. Soon after getting up in the morning, we have to uh, look, show our gratitude and love to the 5 people. The first 2 people are the very important people, be it be like your mother, gurus, or anyone. Or the second person is the 2 persons whom you love the most. So the third person should be ourselves. So we have to show the love. That means we should be at the age of 8 years so that we can imagine ourselves how we feel and everything. So we have to appreciate ourselves. So the third person and the fourth person and the fifth person will be any person not related to our family or the close relatives, but any person, be it your children or be it your friends or anyone, we have to show them. So before doing that, we have to be conscious about our surroundings. We have to have slow breathing. We have to be our surroundings. That means we have to feel the ground and all. So that helps, and it has to be done for 21 days, imagining the same people, the people whom we do on the first day, they will be the one for the 21 days as well. So visualize any person whom you come in the mid of any meeting or anyone whom you don't like. So you have to visualize hug and gratitude. Instead of giving an harsh comment, create a uh, appraisal for them so that they also feel happy and they also be cooperative to us. So we have to create our own world by blessing, having pleasure and fun. So when you have no good relation with the husband, visualize the same person and imagine that you are show your gratitude. So when the couple brings down the live in the past, like every time calling about digging the past and bringing them for arguments and all, so that person may have PTSD. So one thing is either bless the person. If you can't bless the person, ask the God to forgive them for their wrongdoings, or God forgive, ask repeated forgiveness, asking the God repeated forgiveness to the wrongdoings of the enemy, even if the enemy. So blessing the person will really help us. If someone has hurt you, do something good for them. That means if you are angry or if you are not really happy with the person, do something good. To take the money, if someone has given you a gifted money, you buy something else for them so that they will feel happy. So there is a cognitive shift, doing something to enemy, whatever bad they have done to you. So the people, again, a couple who have been happily married and then after certain situation like knee operation and all, so the lady recollects the flashback and says that the husband is not taking care and she is affecting her own health. So in that case, we can have a paper and write on the top, I wish my husband, if the wife has a complaint, I wish my husband to do the following, or I wish my wife to do the following. So the person has to write all the wishes what she has, even the unfulfilled one, right up to 10, and then again take the list to 20. So that means we are diluting the major demand and making them live in the present. So there should be the things which can be done immediately, like buying a sweet, going for a movie, or buying flowers and all. So, and there should be some unfulfilled demands as well, so which can be done a little later or a couple of years. So everything has to be sorted out. So another case, when a child is not happy with his father and for not having the care what she has to he has to deserve it. So the father feels guilty. So here also we can say what father can do right now. So the child makes the list of all the uh, unfulfilled demands or the demands whatever he wants to do it right now. So diluting the demand, so forget the impractical, by diluting it we forget the impractical demands. Digging the past is not helpful, so we have to bring them here and now, asking for the boons, just like asking for the Shiva. So when the wife is very determined or stubborn and not willing to have in the relationship, um, so we can either make whomever, if the husband is not ready or the wife is not ready, we have to make the partner to stay with 3 days together and quit for 3 days. So 3 days together and quit for 3 days. Again, it has to be done for 10 times or 10 doses. So this is a limited period separation. Even if it is not working out, then we can go for the randomized separation. That means staying for 1 day and going away for 2 days, or coming back on the second day or the first day or third day. So from systematic to unsystematic separation, that also helps in it. So when in another situation where the husband living in the past again and keep on talking about that, we can make the list of the situations in a hierarchy from the highest to the least. So we can go with the least one and start laughing. It's like desensitization or imagery. So we have to laugh it at 3 times. So by doing it, so that the feelings will or the situations or the demands will get diluted and they can live happily. So these are all the things we have discussed today.
Okay. Really congratulate you, because you know you have a multifaceted personality. You are going to become an excellent counselor. Why? Because you are listening, you are writing down, and again you are vomiting it out, and you are going to implement it. So that's natural.
Thank you. To our